Greetings once again, everybody. Sam here, back with a contest entry. I don't do a lot of contest entries anymore. There are so many of them. The vinyl community has just gotten so large, which is a great thing, but it's just so hard for me to keep up with everything that's going on. I have a group of channels that I try to watch fairly consistently, and it's usually when those people put up something that I really want to support them because I do have a relationship with them. And again, I understand, the contest and, bringing people in. Uh, I just don't have enough time. So with all that to say, be sure to put in your contest entry for Alex over at Beer and Vinyl, whether you know him or not. uh, there you go, Alex. Alex is one of my best friends. You all know him. You all love him. He's been to my place here a couple times in the last 6 months or so. He actually stayed with me for the weekend last month, back in March. We had a great time together. Hung out at a record show, spun some tunes, watched a little March Madness basketball, and yeah, ate a lot of clam strips, as they say. So Alex has a contest out here. He's trying to push for 500 subs. I watched his video last night. He was at 485. He might be at a couple more since then. Today's the 1st of May, so I'm sure by the time this contest ends, which will be June 1st, he will have exceeded that. He's gained 500 subscribers very fast. He's gonna pass me easy with subscribers here by the end of probably next year, just at the rate that he's going. But Alex has a really cool little contest going. He's given away 2 really cool records. He's given away the 45 RPM version of Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, and also Art Pepper in the rhythm section. Both of those records, neither of those records I have on vinyl. Those would be great additions to my collection. I've been wanting that Art Pepper since it was announced on Craft a couple years ago. Really, really would be cool to win that. But if you're not interested in that, he's also willing to negotiate with some services, i.e. a gift card. So please, do this contest whether you like those records or not, because Alex will be able to work with you and, give you just a beautiful, beautiful prize. So anyway, he wants us to show 5 records that remind us of people that we love. He said it can be anybody, family, it could be VC members, it could be friends, whoever you want. So I have 5 records here, and it just so happens that I have 4 members in my immediate family, and then I have one final record for my best friend who watches these videos. So that will be a little shout out to him, and I'll get to him in just a moment. So let me go ahead and start in order of age, I suppose, for my family. Let me start with my dad. I've talked about my dad several times. My dad and I have seen a few concerts together. There are a lot of different records that I could pick for my dad. Really, anytime I listen to an Elton John album, I think of my dad. Anytime I listen to Tony Bennett or Frank Sinatra, I listen to my dad. I think of my dad. But the record that I chose is kind of a twofer, because my dad gave me this album, and it's one of our favorite artists mixed with another one of our favorite artists, and that is this fantastic compilation called Tony Rice Sings Gordon Lightfoot. Now, I just showed in my April Music Finds I had a Tony Rice record on vinyl, and this is, again, a CD. It's a comp that covers 17 tracks that Tony Rice recorded throughout his career up until this point. This came out in 1996, and it's Tony Rice, again, bluegrass, acoustic, flat picker, great singer from Virginia. He does a bunch of Gordon Lightfoot songs, and again, my dad and I got to see Gordon Lightfoot once with my mom as my first concert back in 2009 or 2010, and then my dad and I saw him again in early 2022. So really, really happy to have seen Gordon a couple of times with my dad, and my dad got to see Tony Rice, as did my mom, a few different times. But you have some great stuff on here. You have Go My Way, Home from the Forest, Fine as Fine Can Be, Let It Ride, I'm Not Saying, which is a favorite of mine, Better Green, You Are What I Am, Shadows, Walls, Whispers of the North, 10 Degrees Getting Colder, fantastic tune. Record the Evan Fitzgerald, Early Morning Rain, Whisper My Name, 16 Miles, Cold on the Shoulder, Song for a Winter's Night. Chris Prophy, if you don't have this album, check it out. This is Tony Rice Sings Gordon Lightfoot. Think of my dad. So that's from my dad. All right, let's go to my mom. Again, ton of records that I could have pulled from my mom. Anything Tom Waits, anything John Prine. Tom Petty. I think about both of my parents. Traveling Wilburys. I think of my parents. And but there's one album in particular that was kind of a grail of my mom's for years. She never was able to find it because they didn't really sell it in stores, and she didn't really do like the online circuit in terms of looking for albums. And again, one of my favorite artists. He's a top fiver for me. I would probably venture to say he's in my mom's top five too. This particular album is one that I always think of my mom. That is Van Morrison, Hymns to the Silence. This is Van's double album from 1991. Really, really good stuff. Great lyrics. He has stuff like I'm Not Feeling It Anymore, Professional Jealousy. He does a version of Be Thou My Vision. Why Must I Always Explain is a fantastic tune. Again, I'm Not Feeling It Anymore was kind of a hit for Tom Jones in the 90s. He does a version of I Can't Stop Loving You, the Ray Charles tune. Really, really good stuff on here. Hymns to the Silence is a great song. By His Grace is a great song. It's just to me, it's all killer, no filler, even if it is 21 tracks, however many tracks it is. So I found this from my mom on eBay a couple years ago and found it for dirt cheap. So it was really, really cool to find it, and so I was like, I want a copy too, so I bought myself a copy as well. But Hymns to the Silence is one that I always think about with my mom. She was talking about it for years before I ever heard a note of it, so this one is for my mom, Van Morrison, Hymns to the Silence. And we saw Van Morrison in 2018, so that's kind of icing on the cake. Next, I have two younger sisters. The first is 2 years younger than me, and I'm not going to mention their names just for their privacy, but this is, again, she's the middle child of the family. We have a little bit of music in common, not a whole lot of music in common. She loves the Beatles. She's seen Bob Dylan with my dad and my mom a couple times, but she's not a diehard of any of those. She's a kind of a modern pop lover, with Taylor Swift and, Bleachers and, that kind of stuff. Lord, I think is another one that she likes a lot. But this is an album that relates to an inside joke that her and I have. This is the soundtrack to the movie Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, which was a DreamWorks film in 2002, I want to say. Yeah, 2002. Bryan Adams did the soundtrack on here. Hans Zimmer did the score. But this album, every time I think about the movie Spirit or listen to the music on the album Spirit, I think about my sister, just because we have this stupid inside joke related to this movie. And I have seen Bryan Adams twice. He both times he's done the song "Here I Am," which was actually a good hit for him. But yeah, I'll always think about her when I listen to this album. So there is that. And then my youngest sister, I'm happy to say that I've gotten her into quite a bit of music. Again, I could have picked Traveling Wilburys for her. And that's another thing. For this sister, I could have picked really any Beatles album or anything like that, because we have that connection. But I could have picked. Well, there you go. But I could have picked Traveling Wilburys or anything like that. But I'm gonna go with this album, which I got her into. This is the youngest sister, who's 7 years younger than I am. This is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. This is just one of those albums that she and I just really, really like a lot. I got to see Stevie Wonder on the 40th anniversary of this tour. Particularly the song Have a Talk with God. She really loves that song. She loves like the intro kind of noise to it. Obviously Sir Duke is on here, I Wish. Knocks Me Off My Feet is another one that we connect to. Isn't She Lovely is on here. But yeah, my youngest sister I think about when I listen to Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Actually, I got her a copy of this a year or so ago for Christmas, so she had her own copy when I moved away from home. So there you go for the youngest sister. And now finally for my best friend, Chris. Again, he doesn't comment or anything on my videos, but he watches it all the time. I've known Chris since college. I've known of Chris since 2012, but I didn't really become friends with Chris until about 2018, about 2014-ish, my junior year of college. And we bonded. One of the albums I could have picked for him is Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. I could have picked the album Hot Fuss by the Killers. Chris got me into the album Hot Fuss by the Killers. But I went with this album, and really any album by these guys. This is Plans by Death Cab for Cutie. This album in particular, I think about Chris a lot. He really likes the song Crooked Teeth on here. He talked about that song a lot in college. Soul Meets Body was the kind of like a pop hit on here. I Will Follow You Into the Dark, acoustic kind of mellow tune. Brothers on a Hotel Bed is probably my favorite song on here. But Marching Bands of Manhattan, Chris and I talked about Plans. We also talked about Narrow Stairs a lot. I could have pulled Narrow Stairs as well, which had the song I Will Possess Your Heart on it. But Chris, I always think about Death Cab for Cutie. When, I always think about you when listening to Death Cab for Cutie. And again, lots of other music that I could have picked. Elton John is another one I could have picked with Chris. I saw the Stevie Wonder show that I was just talking about with Chris. I saw Elton John with Chris earlier in that school year. So a lot of great memories with Chris, and hope for some more concerts in the future, my man. But Death Cab for Cutie, Plans. So a little bit long, but I like to talk about some of those stories, why those albums mean something to me. I hope that you got something from this. But the big thing is, I hope you go over to Alex, subscribe to him. He's my boy, love him to death, and just an all around funny guy. That weekend that he was here back in March was just one for the ages. It was just so much fun, so many great laughs, and I can't wait to see him again. So his channel is in the description below. Go check it out. I'll link up the contest video below. How about that? And then just subscribe to him from that video. Anyway, there you go. Alex, hope you get there. You're gonna get there. I know it. Everybody, y'all be good. Take care, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.